No doubt your kids' teachers are just like superheroes, teaching virtually and just trying to grasp a hold of 2020 is and how you teach a student. Here's one teacher. Her name is Luciana. She's like a superhero. See, one of her kids, she teaches a class of a lot of 7-year-olds, okay? So it's what, first or second grade?
First or second, yeah.
And so one of her students' mom just gave birth to a baby, but here's the thing. Everybody in that student's family has COVID. And mom has it so bad that she had to be intubated for several weeks. It was just absolutely horrible. And so the dad's like, we've got to keep this baby safe. So he boldly picked up the phone and said, listen, would you, Luciana, the teacher, take care of our baby for us while we recover from COVID?
And she did?
Didn't bat an eye. She's like, absolutely. I will take that baby in. Been feeding it the formula, been making sure that that baby is healthy and strong, away from all the COVID in the family. The mother's doing a lot better. The kids and the husband or the dad is starting to become better as well. And here's the thing. Luciana has been teaching virtually from home the entire time. And so now the baby has been involved in teaching.
And teaching them a life lesson as well. But think of that bond that she's making, not only with that child in those first couple of weeks of life, but also with that family. They're never going to be separated.
His Morning Crew.
I'm going to update you on a story we talked about a couple weeks ago. This is a little puppy. We've all seen that video. It was the puppy that was out on a walk with his owner, and they were by a pond in Florida, and an alligator grabbed this puppy, dragged him under the water. The dad, the owner of the puppy, whose name is Gunner, jumped into the pond and rescued that little dog from the grips of death, right? Guess what? Someone has been honored by the Lee County Sheriff's Office, and it isn't the puppy's owner, it's the puppy for being so brave and making it through.
Oh, look at that. That's so great. And,
isn't that cute?
An honorary canine now.
Exactly. They said they're going to call him a detective. I don't know why, because I don't know that he knew the alligator was in the pond. But at the same time, he got a little badge that he wears on his collar now. It's so cute. They even had a big ceremony.
Well, see, you learn by experience. So this dog will be able to detect where a lake is and not go near water ever again in his life.
Rob and Liz.
His Morning Crew.
First, it was a 4.5-pound bass. And then the next fish was 9 pounds. And it was gold.
Huh?
Because the fish was a goldfish. A 9-pound goldfish. They
Was this
found
outside
in a lake.
Chernobyl?
No nuclear plant close to this pond whatsoever.
Okay.
And so the recreation department was just going to check the area to see what kind of fish there is. And so what they did was this electric kind of pulse that does not hurt anybody, but it stuns the fish, and then they float up to the top, and they're still perfectly alive. They do this all the time. It doesn't harm anybody. And so they did that pulse. The fish floated to the top. They saw the bass, and then they went, look at that goldfish. It's honking huge. It's 9 pounds. A 9-pound goldfish. That's a large goldfish. Now, like if you go off, the tourist things at Myrtle Beach, like, what is it, Barefoot Landing, and you see the big goldfish that are off Barefoot Landing, and they're really big. The biggest will get to about 8 pounds. So this 9-pound thing in the natural habitat of a lake. And here's the thing. Goldfish just don't appear anywhere.
Right.
So I don't know if the goldfish played dead one day and tried to do a Finding Nemo moment from the dentist shop and get out. Yeah. Yeah. They went, I got an idea. I'll float to the top and they're going to flush me down the toilet, and then wound up in the lake. But it's a big goldfish.
Oh my, did you know that you can eat goldfish?
I've never tried. They're too tiny in my bowl.
Oh, yeah, but this 9-pound one, that'd feed a couple of people. But, hey, yeah, evidently they're in the carp family. I don't know that I would recommend it, but I Googled it. And, yeah, you can eat a goldfish.
Why am I seeing... Next, if you ever invite us over to your house and you say you're having fish, I'm going to pass on the fish.
Rob and Liz.
His Morning Crew.
When you love meat, and for some reason you had to take it out of your diet and you had to go vegan, you totally miss a lot of things, like meatballs, for instance. So Vegan Beyond Meatballs are making their debut at Costco. And there are people that are like, oh, good, because I miss a meatball. And a lot of the Beyond Meat stuff, I'll have to admit, tastes really realistic, like it's meat. At least to me, it does.
Yeah, that like Morning Star is a really good one. The Boca burgers I've used before. I mean, I don't know what the meatballs are made out of, what they're using, but it usually tastes pretty good.
Yeah, talking about the vegan meatballs at Costco, just in case you're joining us. But oh my word, now that they're available, and for people who like miss the meat and want to have like meatballs in their spaghetti, there you go. It's nice.
And if you put enough sauce on it, who knows the difference?
Mornings with Rob and Liz.
Pulled up to the drive-thru window to get their food, and then they looked at the cashier and said, hey, that person behind us, we want to pay for them. We call that the drive-thru difference at His Radio. This was in Minnesota at a Dairy Queen. That didn't stop the whole day. By the end of the day, this was last week, there was like $10 that was left over and some change. And then somebody called and said, hey, I heard what was going on there. I'm going to donate $80. And so the next day, they started with $90 at that Dairy Queen and continued that drive-thru difference and pay it forward.
Yeah, it went from Thursday to Saturday. People just one after another in the drive-thru paying for the person behind them. Do you know how much was actually spent, was paid forward in this drive-thru line over those 2 days?
There were 900 customers, so keep that in mind while you're trying to guess at how much this was.
$10,000 worth of food. You're just paying for the guy, the girl, the family behind you. I love when this kind of thing happens.
3 days. It started Thursday, went on Friday, and then went into Saturday. That is just absolutely amazing. That's like the drive-thru difference on steroids, you know?
Steroids.
Good night. That was just something incredible. I've never seen that.
No, I've heard of different places at Chick-fil-A, McDonald's, whatever. It might go for 10 cars, and then you kind of hear it fizzled out a little bit. But that long, like I would love to hear those stories because I think they're just so cool.
I don't know if you've ever received a drive-thru difference or pay it forward at any kind of level. And if you've received something like that, somebody did something kind for you like that act of kindness or pay it forward, we'd love to hear your story. Here's our number. It's 800-447-7234. You can call or text.
Rob and Liz.
His Morning Crew.
We are talking about that drive-through difference, that pay it forward, random act of kindness, because it happened over like 3 days at a Dairy Queen. Just kept paying for the person behind them, so much so that it rang up to $10,000 had been paid over that 3-day period. Just incredible.
That's crazy cool. So we're wondering if you've ever received a drive-through difference, a pay it forward, if you've ever helped anybody out. The stories are coming in. Here's the number to call. It's 800-447-7234. Lisa's with us. What's your story, Lisa?
Our whole entire office, I work in a doctor's office, and we had a patient that was a refugee from Key West that came in, and she was pregnant, her and her husband. As we were seeing her, we were, talking about things, and she said how she lost everything. She hadn't got to have a shower or anything. So our whole entire office got together, and we just picked up 2 big, huge boxes full of stuff, and we shipped them to her in Key West, Florida. It was such a blessing to be able to be a part of that.
I love your whole office did that, Lisa. That is just amazing. It wasn't just to pay it forward from one person, but everybody got involved.
Yeah, and that can happen sometimes. Somebody hears about a need, tells somebody else. Everybody jumps in, takes care of it, so it's not a huge burden for any one person, but you all come together.
How about your story? Here's the number you can call or text. It's 800-447-7234.
His Morning Crew.
900 people, $10,000 later. It was a drive-through difference that just wouldn't stop at a Dairy Queen in Minnesota. So we started thinking with Rob and Liz this morning, His Radio High, that you probably have experienced something like that. Call to pay it forward, call to drive-through difference. Something happened for you. We'd love to hear from you. 800-447-7234.
Leah has gone to the store 2 Sundays in a row, and she goes to buy the Sunday paper because she likes to get the coupons out of it. I get you, girl. She said 2 Sundays in a row, somebody has actually paid for her newspaper.
Really?
Yeah.
You might as well keep going at that same time, girl.
I know. I said, is it the same store?
Right? Sharon is here. So what happened, Sharon, in that pay it forward in your life?
I had went shopping last Saturday, actually, with my daughter, and I was in a store, and they asked me about opening up a charge card, receive 10%, and we did all that, which took a few minutes, and I ended up and got out of that store and went forward to another store in the area, and I got my stuff in there. We kind of messed around for a little while, and I got up there to pay, and I realized I did not have my wallet. First, I was in panic of where did I lose it? Did I leave it? My daughter went and checked in the car. There was nothing, which I kind of thought, but I let her check anyway. And I'm just in a panic like, oh, my gosh. And I just told the lady, I said, just cancel this order. I don't have any money to pay for it. Without my wallet, I didn't have any money. The people beside me looked at me and said, no, we've got this. We'll pay for it. Don't you worry about it. We've had this same thing happen to us. Merry Christmas. And it was actually $32 I was getting ready to purchase.
His morning crew.
Maybe if your power's out and you're looking for something to do, just grab out the old-fashioned Play-Doh.
Oh, yeah. I used to like Play-Doh.
Yeah, used to.
Yeah.
There's some adults who still wish that they could play with Play-Doh, but don't want to look like a little child playing with Play-Doh.
I get that. It's like watching cartoons.
Yeah.
I want to watch them, but it's like I feel better if I have a kid with me.
You've got to do that by yourself.
Yeah.
It's like nobody else around, grab the
Right.
Play-Doh and play. Well, now here's the thing. Play-Doh understands that. Play-Doh knows that there are parents whose kids are not young anymore and aren't interested in Play-Doh anymore, that they've made Play-Doh for you. Just like coloring books are for adults now.
Oh, so therapeutic.
Yeah, my wife has
Yeah.
those, and she colors in them all the time. Well, maybe I can do the Play-Doh now. While she's coloring, I can sit at the kitchen table and do Play-Doh, because now they have adult Play-Doh.
Adult Play-Doh.
Adult Play-Doh.
What makes it adult?
Play-Dohs for dads and moms, just for them. I think it's the scents.
Okay.
Because one smells like grown-up mom jeans. And,
What?
And dad sneakers.
It smells like dad sneakers?
Oh, yeah. Dad sneakers are the best. Lord of the Lawn is another one.
Okay, I can get behind that one.
Yeah, because, cutting the grass.
Right.
And then one more, which is the Grill King. So those are the Play-Doh for mom and dad to play with, or grandma and grandpa. And it has grown-up scents. And so that means, the smell is nice.
I can't get behind the dad sneakers and the mom
Really?
jeans.
Well, listen, here. I got my sneaker right here.
No, it's good. It's good. No, stop.
It's
Stop.
okay.
Oh, Rob.
Wave it around
Hold
a
on.
little.
I'm going to pull this out. Robert, what are you doing?
So I'm just going to blow out.
Oh, are you kidding me right? Are you kidding?
That smells great.
Are you kidding me right now?
Listen, here. Here you go.
I'm good.
Here you go.
You want mine?
She just sucked in her breath. Liz is turning blue.